Rambo 4, John Rambo, Rambo First Blood Part 4, Rambo Second Blood Part... You know, someone already did this shtick. Anyway, there's a new Rambo movie coming out. It's coming out in January. Sweet! And what better way to celebrate a new installation in a series than by finding a game based on a previous installation in the series and seeing if it's any good or not. I could think of several things offhand actually, but you know, so long as I'm here. Anyway, the game is made by Acclaim, a company with a long history of putting their name on good games like this one, and this one, and this one, and this. You know, come to think of it, did this company ever make a good game? And I mean make, not just handle a port. Now, Rambo for the NES is based on Rambo First Blood Part 2, the second movie in the Rambo series. And I use the term based very loosely. Anyway, the movie and the game start the same. The Colonel's visiting Rambo, who's chilling in a military prison. The Colonel's got a job for him, and Rambo will live his freedom if he succeeds. I love this one part right here. Finally, a game that does what we're all thinking. I mean, you've never really had a chance to say no before, but now you can. I mean, it's incredibly pointless, but hey, it's there. There's a small sequence here which pretty much plays out like the start of the movie. Rambo gets his briefing, Rambo talks to the various guys, and then, hey, we're on our way out.
How you doing, Rambo? I'm Erickson.
Now, if there's any of our men at this POW target camp, you're to confirm their presence by taking photographs.
Photographs?
Just photographs. Under no circumstances are you to engage the enemy.
Anyway, you get the general idea. And after a little more yakking with the characters, we're on the ground. Let's get this shit going. Note the blooper, it's daylight now, but it'll be nighttime when he hits the ground. Anyway, we have a decent interface. We have the life bar, experience bar, medicine on the far right. This looks kind of familiar, but... no, it's probably nothing. Let's keep going. Your first objective is to meet up with your Vietnamese contact, and in order to do that, you have to navigate a series of screens while hacking and slashing at the wildlife with your knife. But I swear I've done this before. Maybe? Well, let's wait and see. Anyway, you navigate it like a maze. There's sections on the ground marked NRS for north and south, and standing still and pressing up will move you north and south. Sometimes this will send you back to the starts of sections, just to piss you off. The music will change when you're on areas that aren't populated by enemies, and you can talk to the locals by pressing up. Now, this is the guy that's supposed to take me somewhere, but... fuck. That's not my contact. I'm supposed to meet up with my Vietnamese contact first, then talk to this guy. Ugh. Make a map when you play this game, because otherwise, this happens. Is this fuck! This isn't it. How about this one? Damn it, that was a dead-end one! Anyway, there's your Vietnamese contact in all her 8-bit glory. And then you head back to that guy, and then you can take the boat. Fucking like a couple of minks, no doubt. This part's hilarious, watch. And as we reach the 5-minute mark for this review, you may be wondering, why haven't I made any legitimate valid criticisms of this game yet? Oh, don't worry, we're getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your favorite part of any licensed game, deviating wildly from the source material. On today's episode, a small boy is being held captive in a cave to the north. Rambo wildly deviate from the source material and save him in order to continue the game. Was that a flying disembodied skull? Ladies and gentlemen, we've done it. We have crossed the line from reality to not reality. We have entered the thriller video.
And no one's gonna save you from the beast.
Wait a minute! Darkened caves, life bar, XP bar, stabbing things, flying disembodied skulls, stupid side quests, shit dropping out of trees and chasing me? I knew it! I'm playing Zelda 2! And lo, we have reached the entire point of this stupid game. It's a gigantic ripoff of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. So let me get this straight, Acclaim. Instead of ripping off this game, you ripped off this game. Wow. That just totally blew my mind. Let's see, stabbing things with knife. Check. Health bar, XP bar, check, check. Big nighttime forests full of baddies. Check, check. How about flying disembodied skulls? Do we got those? Yep, now how about bubbles flying up from bridges trying to kill you? How about caves that start out pitch black but become illuminated when you find a lantern? How about a jump spell? I bet Rambo doesn't have that. Okay, here's something Rambo couldn't possibly have. A giant marsh filled with things underfoot with birds flying around trying to kill you. And yet, there it is! There is no God. Anyway, combat is frustrating because your knife has about a 1 second delay, so you kind of have to plan your shots in advance. And some of the enemies, their movement patterns are a little more random than usual, and some of them, like these snakes here, I can't fucking find the fucking hitboxes on them. Oh, that's another thing I forgot this game rips off. Seizure-inducing game over screens. Also of note, in this cave, a giant spider that you're supposed to kill, and a blatant example of taking the line between reality and fantasy and throwing up on it. And since the knife already has enough problems just hitting anything, and it being the most powerful weapon, you're inclined to use it, but then everything is gangbanging you like crazy, and you fucking die all the time! And look at this, the exploding arrows. Kills in one shot in the movie, it takes like 5 or 6 just to take one guy down. And the storytelling leaves something to be desired. I mean, look at this. What just happened here? Alright, that. You see, the game tries to interpret some of the film in the form of cutscenes. Really, really shitty cutscenes. Here's the only one that seemed to pull off half-decently with some level of coherency. The one wherein Rambo is left behind by the helicopter.
Relay the command! Rambo's found one of ours!
I'm telling you to abort.
Colonel! I've been ordered to abort before pickup!
Murdoch! Murdoch, for Christ's sake, we've got him in sight!
Murdoch, you read!
Come on!
We're going down!
You're not going anywhere. You goddamn mercenaries.
The cutscene where Rambo is captured is a giant mess. Here's how the movie would look if they went with the game's version.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Podovsky. I know you are trying to facilitate the release of war criminals. Well, we must have explanation. First of all, I wish you to radio your headquarters and say that you have been captured and... Yushin, To Sergeant Yushin here, you are a piece of meat, a laboratory experiment. But it seems you were abandoned on direct command. If your life means nothing to you, then perhaps his does. Make the radio call.
22056. Lone Wolf, receive.
We read you, Lone Wolf. What is your position? Over?
Your friend dies if you do not answer.
Honey, this is Troutman. Where the hell are you?
Murdoch.
He's here.
Give us your position and we'll come to pick you up.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
But before this can happen, you have to control the girl. So, you know. Anyway, let's recap. It's a Zelda 2 ripoff, the weapons are useless, it butchers the storyline, and the liberties they take with the movie do not pay off. Flying disembodied heads, a side quest with a giant spider, and there's just no excuse for that. I mean, games like GoldenEye and stuff, they take liberties with the movie, but they pay off. It doesn't here. Here's the last boss, the helicopter, and instead of blowing it up with a bazooka, which you did in the movie, which was pretty cool, you now have to pelt it with 50 grenades while fighting off soldiers and mortar fire. And now notice how I'm running around and swapping through the weapons? This is the only time in the entire game that this works. Every other time in the game, you have to stop what you're doing, and then hit the select button to get your medicine, use it, and then you keep getting pelted. But no, here, I can run around and do that. Why can't I do that in the rest of the game? That just makes no sense to me whatsoever. They're a bunch of fucking idiots. Anyway, you beat it. You get to the chopper. You fly back to the base. You can shoot Murdoch and turn him into a frog. I don't know why. And then Rambo and the Colonel have pretty much the same exact conversation they had at the end of the movie. You did not just fuck up the most important line in the whole movie. You did, didn't you? Oh, God. The line is supposed to be, how are you going to live, John? Day by day. I'm speechless. Now, it's not like the movie was, not like the game was being made at the same time of the movie. And they get things wrong like that. No, the movie came out in '85. The game came out in '88. How do you fuck that up? Oh, God. Just, that is phenomenal. I mean, that just sums up the whole game right there. It's a cash-in. It's a cash-in on Rambo. They didn't give a fuck for the movie. They just said, hey, let's make a game and make money. Oh, God. Fuck it. Now, since I know you're going to go straight to Wikipedia after this review to see if my Zelda theory has any merit, here, let me save you the trouble. Zelda 2 came out in North America after Rambo did, but Rambo came out a good 11 months after Zelda did in Japan. This game had claimed more than enough time to rip Zelda off and ship it over here so we think Zelda was the ripoff. This game is a piece of shit and it ought to be treated as such. The only redeeming value it has? I can have a copy of Castlevania Chorus of Mysteries made out of it, and that's just what I'm gonna do.